Welcome to Flawless Shoe Reviews. In this video I'm going to compare the Hoka Clifton 9 with the Brooks Go 16. They're two of the most popular neutral shoes on the market, however they're built for different purposes, they feel different underfoot, and I'm going to also touch on how they influence different medical conditions, so at the end of the video you have a better idea of which shoe might work best for you. If we look at the Clifton 9 first, they've got an engineered mesh on top, which is a narrow fit in the toe box. So those of you with a wider foot, you may not enjoy it because it tapers quite early. It does come in a wide version as well. It has a padded gusseted tongue on top with some padding around the heel cup. It's got a mild to moderately stiff heel counter, whereas in contrast to that, in the Go 16, we've got much more space in the toe box, and it comes in a wide version as well. It's a true to size and length. It has a non-gusseted tongue, so it's not stitched in, though it's nice and padded, and it's got some padding around the heel counter that's more substantial than what we get in the Clifton 9. It's also a bit stiffer around the heel counter, so stiffness around the heel counter helps provide stability, cradling your heel to help control pronation moments when you initiate contact with the ground. You may not enjoy it if you got sensitivity on the back of your heel like bursitis or Haglund's deformity, whereas you may find it more comfortable in the Clifton 9 if that's the case. We've got completely different midsoles and performances under the shoes. So if we look at the Go 16, we've got the DNA Loft V3 cushioning. So it's very balanced, so a lot different than the Model 15, which is a lot firmer. So this, you sink into it a little bit, and then it's got good spring to it, so it helps push you back out again. It's got a 12mm drop, so the difference from the back to the front of the shoe, with 35.5mm on the rear foot, 23.5 on the forefoot. Whereas on the Clifton 9, we've got a 5mm drop with 32 in the rear foot, 27 in the forefoot. It's also considerably lighter, coming in around 249 grams versus 278 grams in a size 9 men's US. The foam is a CME VA cushioning that's very responsive, so you apply pressure to it, it really pushes you back out again. It's quite a springy midsole. It's also incredibly durable in the Clifton 9, so it can go for miles and miles. It's very much a workhorse of a shoe. It has elements of stability with sidewalls on the inside and the outside of the shoe, broad base of support, and some sole flare where it comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe, increasing the ground contact that you have and therefore keeping your foot centered in the shoe as you move. Whereas with the Go 16, we've got much smaller sidewalls on the inside and the outside of the shoe. It's got some sidewalls in the forefoot here and here. It's got a relatively broad base of support to keep you centered in the shoe as well. So they're two shoes that we'd consider stable neutral shoes. So they have a neutral bed but elements of stability with the sidewalls, broad base of support, and the sole flare. They've got a much more flexible toe box in the Go 16, whereas it's much stiffer in the Clifton 9. So if you have any issues around Morton's neuroma or metatarsalgia, you might enjoy the stiffness in the Clifton 9. Just be careful with the width of the shoe. Then, when we think about what activities they're best for, well, the Clifton 9 is a workhorse. It's an all-rounder, so you can stand in it all day, use it for walking. It's excellent for easy runs, recovery, and long runs, but it also can do some up-tempo workouts because it's quite light and it's quite springy. Not necessarily race pace that you might look at in the Hoka Max 6 or in the Rincon 4. However, it's an excellent shoe for everything that you might need in terms of day-to-day running. The Go 16 is more of a classic neutral shoe, so excellent lifestyle shoe. Really good for standard easy runs, longer runs, recovery runs. Just doesn't have that pace to it that you get in the Clifton 9 for those faster workouts. If you've got either of these shoes, let us know what you think. If you've got any questions on them, also drop that in the comment section below. You can pick up links to the shoes in the description. Purchasing through these helps fund the channel without affecting the price that you pay. Otherwise, if you found the video helpful or interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel.